Hi, Mike.
Like,
Hello.
Join us.
be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
That's okay. Good timing. We got to get his timing down better.
I know.
I do. Please tell him I love the holiday lights he's posting on Facebook. Your house looks amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know. Right after this, I'm going to decorate the tree because I do the inside, he does the outside, and I'm behind.
Mm.
I am such a bah humbugger. Like, I don't wanna.
Oh,
I put a few things outside, like a little bit of lights and a nutcracker big guy on my front door, and I have a few things. I don't know if you can see it under my TV. I've got a bunch of nutcrackers and stuff. I'm like, I'm good.
That's
I
it.
feel holiday-ish.
ish.
I mean, I'm gonna have to put a tree up, but man, I am just not. When my kids got big, I just kind of like I don't get very festive anymore. I mean, I love giving gifts; that's fun, but maybe I told my daughters, like, you know what, I don't have to work and I'm at home and all I'm going to do is just sit there and think about how cool it's going to be to decorate my house. Maybe then I'll enjoy, like, the artsy fartsy in me you would think would love to decorate.
You're so creative. Yes.
But it's just another thing that I have to do.
I love walking into my
all that I
daughter's
have to
home.
juggle.
I know. I love walking into my daughter's home and the tree is up and she's got all her garlands and it's going up the stairs. And so I enjoy it at her house. Right?
Yeah. If you
I love seeing it.
if you could just do it like when you felt like it, even if it was July, that'd be best. But the pressure to get it done this week is intense.
Yep, there's my free
I was
spirit.
going to say, if you could get it done like this, then I'd be all about it.
So speaking of decorating, I know you guys are familiar with Peggy Urife, is I believe how you say her last name.
Yep.
Peggy.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you see that she was invited to help decorate the White House?
No. Wow.
Yeah, you'll have to pull up her social media. She was, I guess this has been a big bucket list for her item. She's applied year after year. They did choose this year 147 people to come, and they were there for 8 days decorating. And I'm like, how fun would that be?
Yeah. Wow.
That's
good
cool.
for her for not giving up, right? And reapplying time and time
yeah,
again.
I totally agree. And she was interviewed by, I think it was HGTV. She's going to be on their show coming up. Anyways, pretty darn cool.
Yeah, that's really
cool.
I know. I was so envious. I thought, well, I guess I should learn how to decorate.
I know. You do know how to decorate. I don't want to hear it. I need to learn how to decorate.
Yeah, Karen, I feel like you're pretty high aesthetic. I just have this feeling that you probably have that eye.
Yeah,
she does. Okay, so I am going, coaching is so confidential. And then I'm going to now spill the beans on you, Karen, for a minute. Because she hasn't done it lately. However, she used to send me a pre-call sheet with the things that like she'd want to discuss or wins or challenges. Charlotte, every sentence was color-coded. Flowers and hearts. I mean, I get a work of art on her pre-call sheet.
This is my box of pens.
Oh, yeah. Now, have you not gone to the iPad with the pen? Do you have an iPad?
I need to.
Girl, that's life-changing because you have every color imaginable and it's just a touch of a button. Yeah, Tanya, you got a couple for me like that too. My direct manager is like, I don't even have to read or look to know which one is Charlotte's because if it's an Excel spreadsheet, she has highlighted and colored all the different cells.
All right, ladies, I want pre-call sheets going forward through the holidays.
I love it. I'll have to do it. I'm painting my holiday cards in the evening, so I'll have to do it after.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear this weird thing about speaking about painting for the holidays? I love painting ornaments and I'm artsy. I paint better on round surfaces like balls than I do on flat surfaces. I can't quite figure this out, but like I can face paint really well. It's kind of round, right? It's 3-dimensional. Ornaments, anything with like a shape, I can paint. Most people would find that completely opposite. Like, give me a flat piece of paper. It's so weird. Give me a flat piece of paper and I have the hardest time.
That is wild, especially because of your hand control, right? On flat paper, you can rest the side of your hand, which helps the control, but on an ornament, you can't do that.
Nope. Yeah, you do use your hand. It's this.
So interesting.
All right. I did not say anything, so I'm going to say something now. If anybody's here listening, please let us know you're here. Put it in the chat. We won't bug you unless you ask a question. Otherwise, it's okay if you want to be a fly on the wall. Kind of anybody new to listening to us. We only know you're here if you put something in the chat, like raise your hand or something. So ladies, that I was before we went live, but you and I, all three of us need to get on sooner so we can just sit here and chat before we go live. However, before you got on, Charlotte, I was saying something that was happening over and over again with coach calls this week. And I had my Move the Needle workshop. So super blessed. I had 9 people show up for the workshop. Yeah. So a theme that's been occurring over and over again is, hey, I'm stuck at whatever number, closing 18 homes, right? Was one of them. And there's quite a few people like, yeah, over and over, every year after year, I'm closing the same home. I'm stuck at this number. So then I asked, what are you doing to grow yourself? And a lot of silence. And I do believe from the bottom of my heart, the more we grow and we continue to grow, right? Our business has no choice but to catch up with us. As with our growth, our business is going to grow. So your thoughts on that, Charlotte? You can go first if you want.
Oh man. Interestingly enough, I had a couple of my team that when I asked them about their personal development this last year, what was their biggest win? They had a hard time with that. First, I would say that I think people discount things that are personal development. Like we got to talking like, what about when you did this and this and this? I think they forget that they did develop their skills. So you almost have to, for confidence reasons, you have to acknowledge the fact that you did move the needle in your personal development somewhere. It might not have been traditional, but you probably did something this year. So give yourself some recognition. So I actually had to dive in and help them find what they did work on to develop themselves. Because if you did it and you don't recognize that you did it, the self-confidence that comes from doing it just doesn't connect as well. So I would say find that first. But no, without that, what is the saying that the tide can only rise so high, right? So if your capacity is this high, you can't go above that. Right. So if you want to raise the capacity, you've got to grow the vessel. We are the vessel. So you've got to grow that vessel so that it can go to do better. So I definitely agree. And that doesn't, can I just say, again, going back to these coach calls that I've had with my team, that doesn't mean you need to go in traditional, like it doesn't, so like, I hate self-help books. Okay, but it doesn't have to be a self-help book, right?
I agree.
If you want to grow, what's the area that you know is stopping you? And what is the next step to get better at that? Just go, whatever that next step is, that is personal development, but it is not the actual goal or doing the actual thing. It's what do you need to learn or get better at or practice to do the thing.
Sure, absolutely.
That is all it is.
Yes. And I have a comment, but I'll let Karen go next. So Karen, your thoughts on that? Because I know you see a lot of agents stuck.
Yes, definitely. And I agree with what Charlotte said about helping people recognize their growth, because I think a lot of us are not really wired to, to kind of brag on ourselves. So we don't, even really see it as advancement. But I also think it's super important to realize the perspective that you have when you grow, right? Right now, I don't know what I don't know, but when I grow and I end up in a little bit different space, I'm able to see things that I couldn't see where I was before. Hear things, new opportunities. Sometimes it's the people that you're around that change. So I think it's, I agree. The personal growth thing is huge.
It is. I remember, so I'll give you an example. When I was going through my coaching certifications, one of the very first classes I took, they had us write a mission statement, like my own personal mission statement. And I don't remember what it is. However, I remember writing it and being so proud of it. And I posted it on my wall and in my bathroom. I had it everywhere. And then here we are a year later, and I am now going through my second certification, and then they're having us do another mission statement. And I pulled mine out. I hadn't really looked at it in a while, and I pulled it out. And I went, oh, that doesn't sound like me. What a weenie statement. I called it a weenie statement, right? And it was just like, and then so my coach was like, awesome. That's what
You grew.
I grew. That statement was here, and I'm up here, right? So now I had a new mission statement. That's why I like you guys having words of the year or statement of the year, because we grow.
Yeah.
And Charlotte, I agree with you. Because I had a client today, like, I don't want to read another self-help book. I'm like, okay, take a year off, right? Take 6 months off. You can listen to a podcast, right?
Yeah.
You can take a class. There's lots of ways to grow. It doesn't have to be a self-help book.
Agree.
But it's something like, I don't know, everybody has to name one of their favorite books. I have so many favorite books, so I can't just name one. Unreasonable Hospitality, Never Split the Difference, right? I wish everybody on earth would read those books.
Yep.
Yeah. So do you have a favorite book, Karen?
Unreasonable Hospitality is one of my biggies for sure. And then also Soundtracks is really good.
Yep. So that was similar to that is Chatter.
Yes.
I love Chatter. Yeah, Chatter, Soundtrack, depending on where I am. So it's funny because I can read something like, oh, this isn't really touching me right now. It's not where I'm not having those mental issues right then. But every once in a while, if I get in my head, I know it's time to go listen to Chatter, Soundtracks, if I'm trying to get out of my rut. I think Soundtracks is great for getting out of a rut because it just makes you think different. And then I really like The Go-Giver. That's just one that you can always
come back to. That's a great book. Yep.
And it's like, this is what kind of gets you back to the core of your business and refocuses you on what's important, which I really like. And I'm reading the book you told me about right now, which is great. I'm almost done with it. It was a quick read.
It's a quick read.
I don't remember the name of it now.
Don't believe everything you think. I love it. Because seriously, don't believe everything we think, right? Because we do have saboteurs that we start to believe after a while.
Yeah. It's an interesting philosophy. I'm like, well, am I supposed to be brain dead? Oh wait, no. Okay, I can still think. I just can't think. I just can think, but not think.
But maybe that thinking piece, like I was just coaching somebody today, maybe that thinking piece has a different perspective that might serve you better versus the one that you have right now. And that's again a big piece of personal growth when you can sit back and go, is what I'm thinking really the best thing for me?
Can we just jump into this because it goes with the season? And I would love your perspective on this. So, Karen, in this book, have you read this book, Karen?
No, I have not.
So it's about not overthinking, just feel and don't think. Like it does this whole thing. But he goes into goal setting, Tanya. Do you remember this? Mm-hmm. So he goes into goal setting, and I'm like, oh my God. Well, yeah, of course, that's exactly how I set my goals. And he's totally rewriting the script on goal setting and kind of poo-pooing on the original way that you set goals, but saying that your goals, how can I explain that? Tanya, you do it better. It's not tied to the thinking. It's tied to the feeling.
Right. That's so knowing your why and like traveling to your heart and feeling it. Yes.
Which I always try, like, okay, so for my team, of course, I'm a manager. So this puts me in a weird spot because as a manager, I want my team to have volume goals. I need you guys to produce so we still have a team. So it's like, okay, I want them to have volume goals, but that's thinking a lot of times. It may not be, but if they're really is, if their big thing is not directly tied to an income, like if that's not their big thing, then those goals aren't going to make them feel good. I'm like, well, crap, I don't want my team to feel bad.
Right.
I need to find a way of connecting it.
Well, so that's where Simon Sinek needs to jump in our conversation right now, because we really want to, like, it might be, I want to close 18 homes. It might be, I want to close 50 homes.
Right.
However, the reason to close 50 homes is because they want to have a retirement, or they want to have a college fund, or they want to travel to Bali 3 times a year or whatever. Right. And that's more feeling, right? I want to be sitting on a floaty in the middle of the ocean, you know, kind of thing. So, yeah.
I'm having to really look back at my goals, because my goals were literally my word. I might have to rethink my word. Can I be honest? My word was proof. That was my word. Mm-hmm. or for 2026. I'm like, proof. I want to prove that all of these things I've been doing do work. Mm-hmm. Well, that's exactly the opposite of what he says to do, because that is getting validation. That's not a self goal. I'm like, well,
I think there's a little bit of both and in there, because again, if you are a human walking around on earth that lives in their heart, right? Our heart-centered people, right? They're going to resonate with this.
Yeah.
I love the book. However, I am very pragmatic and I live here. So I'm really good with I don't have a word of the year. I have a phrase, and it's do bolder shit.
Yeah. I like that.
So, right. And I love it. And for me to travel here, it's the longest journey I take whenever I have to do it. However, I do it because I my coach is like, did you sit down in a chair, Tanya, for at least 10 minutes and feel your feelings? Yes.
And then my coach says, would you stop feeling, please?
Yes. I do.
Your feelings.
I do.
Well, you can feel, Karen. You just can't analyze the feeling. That's the problem. Feel all you want, but just don't analyze it.
Yes. And that is a problem.
Look at the facts, and then you can feel. But let's look at the facts. So I really do believe it's a both and, not an either or.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Very interesting. But I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to do some soul searching and really decide if that word, is it for me or is it because I need validation? I have to figure that. I don't know that answer, to be honest. Just like right off the top.
Yeah.
It is a little bit for me, but is that because I need validation? Because that's a little bit of a cycle. I have to work on that. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how that comes.
All right. Well, I will remember to ask you. But go for it. Yes. So I'm going to ask a heavy, deep question, and hopefully anybody who's hearing will, either hearing it now or listening to the recording for 2026. And there's nothing wrong with having a plateau year. Sometimes we need to have a plateau year to grow our foundation or solidify the foundation. Maybe you got a little cracky, right? And so we want to, train our assistant better. So plateau years are normal and healthy. However, if we don't want a plateau year and we want to grow, then what needs to be different? Like the coaching sentence is, who do you want to be or need to be? So BE in capital letters in 2026, so that we don't have the same result. And that is my biggest, I have sentences and words. However, I have not turned in my whole one pager to my coach yet. I get to wait till after you guys do it all. And then once you guys are done, I can now focus on my own. Right. So now I'm focusing on my own.
One of my favorite questions that you asked us at the retreat that leads up to that is, first, before that, what needs to be left behind in 2025?
Yep. What are you taking out of the closet?
Yeah, that was huge for me to help see, sort of like what we were talking about, the personal growth, where you get a different perspective, right? So when you get these things out of your closet, then you can kind of see some of the other stuff a little better.
Yeah. Well, the big one for me taking out of my closet for 2026 is procrastination on one certain action step that I have been procrastinating on for almost a year.
Yep. I know it. It's one of my favorites. We can switch bodies for just a little bit, because
now I'm going to get all red. Yeah. So yes, I want to be, I don't want a plateau year in 2026. 2025 was a plateau year for me. I want it to be a growth year. So how about you, Karen? Is there one thing you want to share? You don't have to. This is very personal. Is there something you want to take out of the closet, or who do you want to be in 2026?
Yeah, I really, I did take some things out of the closet so that I could kind of open up to what needs to change. And it really, like, always comes down to just the basics. And for me, it's, back to the morning routine, the miracle morning. So that the rest of the day is calendared well. And so again, pretty basic, but so important for me, because as you know, I will get up with intention of doing something, and the tail starts wagging the dog, and then it's 8:00 at night.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, I'm productive and I get things done. However, there's a lack of intention with what's getting done during the day if it's not mapped out.
Yeah, you're being so hard on yourself. You are very successful and you could be more efficient.
Yes. There we go.
Right?
There you go.
There you go.
Right? Working smarter, not harder, because you are extremely successful.
Yes.
I'd like to, so I'm going to throw that efficiency word in for you.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a
Yeah.
really good one because I do. I mean, it's like I said, I get things done, but it could go a lot better.
Yeah. How about you, Charlotte?
Man, and this is a growth year for me in a kind of a weird way. My growth is I need to grow my team, which actually means that I'll probably be in the red for a lot of them. Whenever you start growing, you have the cost. So it won't be a profitable growth, probably. If I do this well, we'll lose money in 2026.
That's right.
I literally put that on my one branch that's been around forever will be great. They'll be helping us be stable. But 2026, I want people. I've grown my Bowling Green team. They're doing so well. They don't need me as much, honestly. I love this ability of helping people get to that next plateau and really push them. I love that. Nothing gets me more excited than when somebody starts doing some of the things we talked about and then they just take off and it works. I
know that feeling. Yep.
It worked, right? So I am ready to do that in Louisville big time. So my big goal is to have Louisville and maybe Knoxville even a little bit more. I've got a little bit in Knoxville. I'd like to have a couple more people in Knoxville. So I'm really focused on that growth and who I need to be for that. I am really trying to hone in on that. That'll be our next coach call, by the way, on Sunday or Saturday. It's because I really, my letting go, I need to let go of whatever it is that's holding me back. And I want to do some good soul searching to see what is it, because it's not actions. I'm not lazy and I'm not doing the things I need to do.
You are not lazy. No.
It's just that the traction isn't getting there. So I need to get that traction somewhere in there. And if that is learning how to be a better me at this, then that's what I need to do. Today, I will say, listening to this speaker today, he said something and it had nothing to do with how it hit me. You know how you can be listening to a speaker and they can say something and go, oh. He said he had to learn to focus more on the people around him and the people that filled in the gaps than what he could do. And he was talking about something completely different. But I started thinking that when I'm recruiting right now, I feel like maybe I'm really wanting them to see what I'm going to bring to the table for them. Let me show you what I'm going to bring to the table for you. Instead of, look at all these people around me that are going to fill in your gaps.
Yep.
So I thought that might be a place to start. So that's the person I'm going to try. I believe this is step one, is learning how to be the better person of showing off them rather than let me show you what I do. Yeah.
Well, it can be both, again, a both and.
Okay,
because
sure.
you now they have a phenomenal backup band.
Yes.
Right.
Not just a drummer or just right now they have all these other instruments and somebody who's actually going to pull up the curtain. You don't have to pull up your own curtain, right? Or lower the curtain. So here's your backup band.
Here's where it is. And it's interesting because I had somebody come and join me from Knoxville. And after she got in, she's like, oh, they do that for me? I'm like, yeah, I've got this whole system set up. Like, you don't have to do that. I know that we're salespeople and we're not going to be good at this. So I filled in these gaps. And she's like, I had no idea. Well, she came to work for me, thank God, even though I hadn't have done that. I need to focus more on the gap fillers that are on the team that are so supportive rather than just what I can give, because that might help level it up. Anyway, I was thinking today about what I need to be in my recruiting hat. And that was
that's awesome.
Part of my, there needs more, but that is part of my growth.
Yeah.
It is awesome. And I think also switching the perspective on who you are recruiting, right? To be looking for other gap fillers also, because of how much it'll strengthen the entire team.
Yeah. Like somebody that's a little bit different than the others that can fill that in.
Yeah. So like on our team, we have someone who's really good at Canva and she can whip stuff together in no time. And we just asked her, can you just, make it a template and put it in give it to everyone. And then they can go in and pop in their own picture or whatever it is, right?
Right.
So that's a gap filler, right? Because somebody else may not even know where to start.
I'd love that gap filler. Yes. Right. And Karen, you have a phenomenal backup band, right? You've got I mean, your TC is a god. I think he's amazing, right? So you have things that you offer your agents to come to your brokerage. Yes, they get you, which is the best part, and so much more.
Right.
And same thing with you, Charlotte. They get you and so much more. So it's not an either or, it's a both and.
Right.
It is. But I love this perspective, you know, that you shared about the gap fillers, because I think that's pretty important. I mean, not that, you know, I'm not going to hire someone just because they're good at social media. I need them to be a good producing real estate agent.
Right.
However,
exactly. However,
they also have that.
Yeah.
That would be a nice thing to have. Yeah.
Nice thing to have.
Absolutely.
And even to, you know, include that in the conversation with them while recruiting about how the team does support each other that way.
Yeah.
You know, so you're getting a team player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
So I have a brag today. I don't do this very often. However, this one coach call today almost brought me to tears, and I can't name names, and so I won't. However, this one person has been wanting to quit real estate and, you know, get rid of her database and hates it, doesn't want to do it. And she's new to me. We've had only maybe 2 months of coach calls or so, and maybe 3. And like, how do I get out of it? What do I do? And I helped her flip the script and find the tactics that she enjoyed. She was so indoctrinated in one way, right? I'm not going to name the way. However, she was so indoctrinated in this one size fits all coaching that she couldn't see that there's other ways of doing it. And after about maybe 6 weeks of trying some other tactics, she's all back in. Like, I like this business again.
That's right.
Yeah, it was just. So again, we all 3 of us love watching people cross their finish lines or have phenomenal aha moments, right?
Find that thing that just makes them so happy. It's great when they find that thing that makes them so happy. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Makes it feel good. It does. Oh, Tanya, I had another epiphany. I don't think I shared this with you yet. I forget what I've shared. So core values, you know, that's one of my big things because so many things we do, marketing and business development, goals, everything comes back to those core values. And, you know, we've done our core values pretty good. And I always feel like I have been missing one that I think might be my biggest core value.
What?
So when I tell you, you're going to be like, oh yeah, it is absolutely bravery. It's bravery, like courage.
Mm-hmm.
I value, and I hadn't put this together, but I was kind of talking about my core values, all the things that I love. But even my fun is typically a courageous fun.
Yes.
Like, dancing on video, right? Whatever. Getting over that fear. And what moves me to tears in any movie or if there's a commercial, it's always some kind of courage or bravery and that in that moment, right? Whether it be a mom for a child or somebody for an animal or whatever it is. But I had never put that on my list, and it is way high up there now that it really connects all of the others. And
so I want a new one. I want a new one pager, right? And I want it to be creative, right? So we need a new one. So that's awesome.
Yeah. So now it's like, okay, now I need to go be brave, and that kind of makes okay. So if I have to go recruit,
well, that takes a lot of courage.
Yeah.
I don't like recruiting. It's not my favorite thing to do because I don't like feeling salesy, right? There's a fear in there. There's a fear of rejection. Yeah. So now I just need to put that spin on it that I'm being courageous.
I think we just witnessed personal growth.
There we go.
Right? Yeah.
So it's funny because Charlotte and I do a lot of values work, and I do with a lot of my clients. And Karen and I it's been a while since we have, but I know we have because I have them in my coaching notes. So in our mastermind session in January, we are going to revisit how to connect with our values and live in alignment with them. And again, when I was working with the marketing gal, I don't know, Karen, if you finished up with her or not, or if Charlotte, you took advantage of Rachel's services. She wanted to do a lot of work with me on finding my core values. I really like Rachel a lot. I'm like, dude, I already have them. Here you go. Right. But so many people don't. right? So
Yeah.
it kind of blew her away that I'm like, I already know what they are.
Yeah. They're so important to have too, because it's like a little roadmap, right? Whenever something feels wonky or you're evaluating something, if you look at those, it's real easy to determine, is this in alignment or is this out of alignment? And is it so far out of alignment it can't get back in? You know, where are we at with it?
Yeah.
Really
or if you're having an argument with a significant other, right? Somebody's value is getting stomped on, either theirs or yours or both. And once you can get talking about the values, it can save marriages or relationships, right? Because you're not going to change someone's core value. At that point, we need to compromise or accept that that's their core value.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
It is. It is. It's funny because the way that this was found, because I've always done my core values with, you know, people that know me pretty well. The way this one was found was I was sitting next to my best friend since I was 1 year old. So this is somebody that has known me since I was this big. And we were talking. She goes, and of course, bravery. And I'm like, what? She goes, oh, you didn't put bravery down?
There you go.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. 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 I will work with some people and I'll say, well, like, what were you like when you were in kindergarten or first grade? Right. Because it doesn't change. And so when I was on the first grade playground playing handball with the boys, because I beat all the girls already, I know that competition is a value. I mean, I really value it because I'm beating all the boys. Right. It doesn't change, you know, it just doesn't change.
You mentioned that I had been like that since I was a little kid. I always thought, oh, I would say they're so brave. Look at that. I've always apparently done this. I didn't even recognize it in myself. It's funny how sometimes we have complete blindness to a big part of who we are. We need people around us that help us with it. That's for sure.
So my guess, Karen, you were cleaning the teachers' chalkboards.
I did that. I was volunteer crossing guard, you know, at the crosswalk. Yeah.
Yep, and that's the giving piece, right? And volunteering and helping piece, and that's been there since first grade, right?
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, on a side note, that I'm still friends with this kid. He was the student body president and I was his secretary, and I was a great secretary because I just followed him around and did whatever it is he wanted me to do.
Karen,
well, that's long gone. Now that I have discovered I can have other people do things for me, that refurbing.
Mike is probably behind you going, I don't see that woman.
Yeah.
I've always said, how wonderful would it be if I just had that person like right behind me, writing everything down that I was going to forget, taking all the notes, getting me to where I need to be, shuffle me.
Yes, 100%. I know I shared with Tanya in the group that occasionally when I have overwhelm, I have hired a driver to, and here's a list of the places I need to go, and I just zone out and do other stuff, other work. I'm still working, right? But just that little gift of not having to navigate the car, figure out where we're going, you know, what's going on with traffic, just crazy. So then, yes, I bring the rest of the team along too, like someone to handle my calendar and schedule things for me and order my dinner.
I need somebody to find my keys.
Ooh, like right now?
Well, okay, so this is embarrassing. So I'm sharing an embarrassing moment. Saturday, I lost my keys and I looked everywhere. I mean, I did. I looked in my coat pocket. What was I wearing? My pants were in the dirty clothes bin. Went and looked in my pant pocket, looked in the clothes bin, looked in the washing machine in case I had washed something that I forgot I was wearing. Went through my couch. I swear it was like an hour of looking for my keys. And then I realized, okay, well, I came home from with Costco and I had boxes and all the stuff I unwrapped and put into airtight containers. I must have thrown my keys out into the trash. Because it was, I mean, really, I mean, because I'd been gone for 3 weeks. I needed a lot of things. And the garbage company came and took my trash.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, my keys are gone. This was Saturday. So over this week, I called, Subaru, and it's $700, $785 for a new smart key. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. It's amazing how much a smart key is, right? And it's been warmer. So today I go to the recycling and I put my coat on, and guess what's in my coat pocket? And I had checked that coat twice.
Wow.
That's just not me slowing down. And I probably just like was touching the outside of the jacket in the pocket to see if they were in there. Or if I put my hand in, I didn't put it all, obviously I didn't put it all the way into the pocket. Oh my goodness. It's tough
So,
being
Tanya, are
gray.
you an Apple user or a Droid user? I don't
I have
remember which
Apple.
one. Apple. You're going to get a package in 2 days. We're going to solve
No.
this problem.
I already bought an AirTag.
You just need to put it in a little keychain.
I bought it. I bought an AirTag and put it on the. It came today.
You've got it. Okay.
Yes. So no, I know what you're. That's what my kids are like. Mother, you need an AirTag. Yes, and they ordered me a really cute keychain, a little like.
Little holder. Do you know how many items I have AirTagged in my life?
So I'm glad I'm not the only one.
That's funny.
Currently, I have an AirTag in Tampa, Florida. So it works wonderful unless you fly away from the AirTag. And my purse is still in Tampa, Florida at a restaurant. But it's still there. I know where it is.
All right, guys, we are at time. Anything you want to say to part, or shall we just say goodbye for the day? Anything going on you want to say? I don't have a woo-woo question like your favorite movie. I think we're good.
I have just a little announcement on December 10th.
Oh, yes. I want you to make your announcement. I know what it is.
Yeah, let me look at my calendar.
I actually promoted it at the workshop yesterday, too.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Thank you very much. So, yes, it is December 10th at 8 a.m. Pacific time. I am hosting a vision board party so that people can put the goals that they've been working hard on onto paper or on their screen if they want to do it digital. And so everyone's welcome to attend.
I'm saying, and it's on Zoom, right?
It is on Zoom. Yep. So you can be anywhere. It's very fun and lighthearted. You do need to sign up because that way I can give you a little bit of material to kind of know how to show up prepared. So I will put it in my social media. I know it's in Tanya's social media already. So go in there, sign up, join us. It's fun.
Yep. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of the week. And we will be back. I think we're back one more time before we break for the holidays.
We are.
I'm pretty sure. Yep. All right. Bye.